Hello. Okay. Good. That is. I'm just waiting a few minutes and then I will start. I just wanted to see if we could get a few people in here first. All right. Seems like we got like 10 people in here, so I will probably start talking about what I'm going to talk about. Just going to be talking about birth pains again. I don't know if you guys have seen my other lives, but basically I'm just talking about the birth pains and how close that we're getting to the rapture. There's a lot going on in this world right now, so I'm just basically discussing and talking about these things, and hopefully, um, it leads someone to realize what's going on right now. I mean, guys, I think a lot of us know that we are close to the end with a lot of stuff we're seeing. So, I mean, I wanted to bring something up, guys. I mean, there was a Christian who was trying to call me a legalist, and that basically means that you're a works-based Christian. And I know all of you know who I am. Like you, if you watch my channel, you'll see I stand for Jesus. I always try to bring people to Jesus. That's not who I am. So I was gonna make a video on that person and rebuke them and things like that. And I decided that that would probably cause more division, which is what they want. And I don't want to cause division in the church because it says in the Bible that you shouldn't do that. So I'm just gonna bring that up to you guys and just I mean, there's a lot of people just trying to sow division with people right now. So just be careful who you're following, who you're watching, because I mean, that's not what God wants us to do. He wants us to be unified in Christ and our beliefs. But let me go to like I put this slide on here. I forgot. This was basically what I was just talking about. These are two of my most popular videos, and they're about me calling out workspace Christianity and legalism. So I just wanted to show that. I mean, two of my biggest videos, so it doesn't make sense the claims that they're saying. But this is the first sign I was going to show today because a lot of these diseases, guys, they are just spreading right now. And there's so much stuff on the news about these diseases and all this stuff, but this stuff is definitely leading towards the Great Tribulation because there's an increase in pestilences, and also there's all this talk about like another pandemic, things like that right now. There's going to be a lot of this stuff in this slide because like right now there's a ton of this stuff that is happening. I saw this. I thought it was interesting. It says China, world's first military-proof 5G that can connect 10,000 robots. So basically, they made this station that can control like 10,000 robots at once. I mean, this is the kind of technology where we're kind of in like an industrial revolution right now with technology, with AI and all that stuff. So our enemies are making this stuff. Meanwhile, our armies seem to be getting weaker right now in the US. But I always show this stuff because I think it's related to the Great Tribulation and just technology in general because the Antichrist needs this kind of technology for the marks of the beast. Um, this says data shows homelessness in the US at record high levels. I showed something last live, I believe, where it was a 20% increase in the US, which is a record high level for homelessness. So something sad that's going on, but it's because of where the economies are at and what's going on. A lot of reasons. This is another virus thing. It says China has a new mystery virus. I also saw something I could have put in here. I just remembered, but there was this outbreak of some disease recently in China, and their hospitals were filling up. But again, this is more of that stuff just leading towards, I mean, pretty much what I think is going to come next is probably going to try another pandemic or just when we leave, I think there's going to be an increase in diseases like this. Um, this next slide, it's talking about we're facing a genuine cost of living crisis. And then this is talking about says taking back Panama Canal would require war. If you don't know, China has been taking over a lot of ports like in South America and different countries like that. And so they're basically going down there, stealing shipping from us and kind of making these ports their own right now. So a lot of that stuff has been going on. This says North Korea's Kim vows the toughest anti-US policy ahead of second Trump presidency. And then Z says no one can stop China's reunification with Taiwan. So that was something I screenshotted. That's why there's not many things on it because I saw right away. But both of these things are pretty alarming because, I mean, we already know this guy does not like the US, and we know these two are allies. And it's just the same rhetoric is being said. And I think right now we're at a point where it definitely is a point where I could see something happening any day right now. It's just we got to keep seeing, I guess, and keep watching and keep telling people about Jesus while we can because, I mean, any day right now, one of these people could do something with what we're seeing. This was just something I thought that was interesting. It says new breed of nearly invincible bed bugs that are 20,000 times tougher to kill is discovered. And I was reading some of the comments, and people were saying that people are like breeding bugs and releasing them. And I'm pretty sure that stuff's illegal, but they're talking about that kind of stuff. I just thought it was kind of funny, this one. But I mean, still, I mean, that's if that's a real thing, that's pretty scary. That's like a new bug. But um, this this is like another of the end times, like the thinking that people have right now, where they think like they're their own universes, or they're their own gods, things like that. It says Boy George opens up ahead of New Year's concert in Rome. All human beings are multi-universes. So it's like this is just that weird stuff that people are believing in now. It's sad to see people believe in this stuff, but I mean, it's everywhere. This is the West found a miles-long piece of evidence backing its claim Russia is purposely cutting undersea cables. And if you don't know, I showed a map on one of my lives. I believe it was the last one, but there's a map of all these undersea cables for internet in different countries. So apparently, Russia and I think China have been cutting these cables recently. And then this is talking about Puerto Rico plunged into darkness as power outage hits more than 1.3 million on New Year's Eve. That is a major thing that happened. I don't know if a lot of people saw this, but there's these big power outages going on in Puerto Rico and Cuba right now. And I'm not sure if anywhere else, but there's a lot of stuff like that that has been happening. And I do believe that stuff's going to get worse because AI is using more electricity and it's also drying up a lot of local rivers and lakes because they need the water to cool down the technology at these plants and these factories. So that's also something to keep in mind that a lot of these rivers and lakes are drying up because these AI facilities and data centers they're building right now. Welcome in, everyone. Read some of the comments real quick. This was one I saw the other day. It says, warning as undersea volcano off U.S. West Coast is primed to erupt in 2025. I mean, that is pretty, like, we all know what happens if that happens. I mean, recently there was an earthquake in California and we saw like them doing a tsunami warning, which was really random on that day that that happened, just like a lot of this stuff. And I mean, who knows? Maybe a tsunami's coming. I mean, I showed in the last live also, there was in Santa Cruz this big, um, I guess it was waves. There was these weird like rogue waves that came randomly and they destroyed tons of boats at this dock in Santa Cruz and this huge chunk of their pier actually broke off. But there's a lot of that weird weather stuff that is just continually happening. And then this says polar vortex heading for US, sending temperatures plunging and making January the coldest for a decade. I mean, that's a big deal, but we've seen this stuff for a while now. The temperatures are getting colder, like record cold, and then also they're getting record high when it's the summer. So, I mean, all that stuff's killing animals, it's killing plants. It's just all this stuff is pushing us towards this great tribulation. Okay, this says Ford Motor Co's X account posts Israel is a terrorist state, calls to free Palestine. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's just, I mean, people's thinking right now is just insane. These big companies choosing to do this stuff. I mean, they're going against Israel, and it's just sad to see because I mean, we know what's going to happen to these people that are going against Israel. It's not going to be good for them. And then this says Singapore will be extinct. Are we running out of people? Elon Musk sounds alarm. There's a bunch of Asian countries right now. If you don't know, there's actually a lot of countries in the world in general right now. They're having basically, I think it's like called like a birthing crisis or something like that, but it's like they can't get enough people to have kids right now, so it's really messing up their populations because there's so much older people in your country and not enough younger people coming in to replace them. And it's really bad. It basically can cause countries to collapse, and that's happening in a lot of those Asian countries right now. This was something definitely major that happened. It says Chinese hackers breach U.S. Treasury computers. I saw this happen. I was like, wow, they're either trying to see probably if we have money left for this war thing that they're going to do, or they're just trying to steal information. But either way, it is just crazy that they even did that. And I guess we just let them get away with that. But I mean, it is crazy that this just happened too. I think this happened like yesterday. Might actually been today. I can't remember, but sorry guys, I was moving today, so I'm really tired. I just kind of wanted to do this live because I do think it's important that we're all encouraging each other. We're all unified right now, and we're all just pushing Jesus because there's so much stuff going on. Let me go to the next one. It says why experts are telling people not to trade in their cars right now. I mean, it's no secret, guys. A lot of these markets are in bubbles right now. Everything's super expensive. No one can afford anything. So again, this is just leading towards like unaffordability and stuff that's coming in this great tribulation. This says homelessness crisis in Iowa and U.S. reaches record high. And then this one I thought was really interesting. It says more than 70% of California's dairy cow herds are infected with bird flu. And that is a big deal. And I'll tell you why. I used to work in a retail store for years in the grocery department. And a lot of the stuff we were getting, this was when I was living in Colorado, we used to get all of our stuff from California. So it wasn't like it wasn't coming from Colorado itself, it was imported from these different states. So this could still affect a lot of us, and this stuff daily is getting worse with these animals dying and our food being affected, all these recalls happening. So this is again just more of those signs that are increasing. Let me see. Sorry guys if I'm talking fast too. There's a lot of slides and I try to get through this stuff too, like because I don't want to just sound boring. All right. It says Florida faces pileup of unsold homes. And then if crypto is incorporated into Australia's financial system, we will be lucky to avoid contagious collapse. And so this is the thinking I showed you guys in the last live. I actually showed a video where Kevin O'Leary was saying they're waiting for the government to change the rules on crypto, and then they're going to roll it out to every financial institution. This is that same line of thinking. They're saying, oh, well, what if crypto can save us right now if we put it in all of our banks? And so this is that same kind of thinking with the end times where this cryptocurrency is coming in while all these currencies on earth right now are doing very bad. It's like they're basically trying to get this thinking in place and set up this crypto stuff. This says Donald Trump warns U.S. may be forced into economic depression as 36 trillion debt crisis spirals out of control. So that is a pretty big one. I mean, I think we know that some big crash is going to happen. It's just a moment of time right now. Like any moment, basically, we're going to see something. And then these diseases says 5 deadly disasters of 2024. I just want to show that, guys, because it's like, think about years ago. I say this all the time because it's true. Years ago, there was nothing like this. Now they have videos where they can just make videos about disasters that are going on all the time. And it's just, that's how you can tell that we are in these last days, guys, that we're able to see this news and it's so commonplace. It's just, there's so much going on. This says U.S. direct strike on Yemen Houthis on target. And basically Biden authorized a bunch of these major strikes again on the Houthis. I think there was 20 something strikes or 12. And it's just they're going really hard on Yemen right now. And I believe that's because for the longest time they were attacking our ships in the Red Sea and stuff like that. So now they're finally just going in and getting rid of a lot of those people that are doing those things. But this was a big one. It says U.S. and ally draft nuclear weapons rules amid China North Korea threat. So a lot of this stuff has been happening, guys, where people are making alliances, allegiances, drafting up documents because I'm pretty sure most of them are planning this war to happen. They're probably planning it together, but it's just this stuff just keeps increasing. And we just see daily there's more sanctions, there's more people that are have like tensions at an all-time high. And it's just what I said one day, I was like, the straw to break the camel's back is eventually going to happen, and something probably will happen soon. Let me go to this one. U.S. college closures set to soar amid prospective student slowdown. So colleges are slowing down right now. I don't know if maybe they're probably losing money, I would guess, if they're slowing down. But I mean, I think everything in general right now probably is having slowdowns. I used to watch TikToks where people were showing their restaurants completely empty, stuff like that. A lot of people are losing money, understandably, because of the economy. People can't afford a lot. And then this one says Palestinian official predicts Trump will destroy Iran, leading to breakdown of remaining Hamas cells. I just thought that was really interesting because I had a dream I showed a little while ago where I was talking about Biden. And in the dream, Trump was also in the dream. And I said that Trump was going to do something with uranium in the Middle East. And so I'm waiting to see if I'm going to see that or not. But this was something that I felt was interesting because Iran was talking about assassinating Trump for a while, and Trump doesn't like Iran. That's like a known thing because of that. But it's crazy, guys. The stuff that we can just look at right now that's in the news. This says China launches its first supermarket chain in Saudi Arabia. So again, they're building ties with this nation. If you don't know, guys, Saudi Arabia is building something you can look up. It's called the Abrahamic House of Faith. If you look it up, it's in Abu Dhabi. It's where they're combining all major religions under Abraham. I believe it could be related to the Great Tribulation, but they're basically building this big mega church where every faith is combined, and that is a big deal. But that is something that has been going on there. So I think Saudi Arabia will be a big end times player. And then this says Russian gas to EU ends. Ukraine stops transit of Russian gas to EU. Now, this is a big deal because Europe is not doing good right now. If you talk to people in Europe, they'll tell you that. But this is like, I'm pretty sure going to make a lot of Europe have price increases with electricity and things, especially going into winter months. So, I mean, guys, there's just a lot going on in general with the stuff that we're seeing. This is again related, but high level of food poverty comes amid cost of living crisis in UK. So I want you guys to think about, I just showed you this news on Fox in the same presentation, and they said cost of living crisis in the US. So they're also having cost of living crisis in UK at the same time. And I'm sure that there's many other countries, the same exact things going on right now. And even Germany, there's a lot of stuff happening. But this was by China Observer. I showed something last live where they were saying that like 800 million Chinese are in debt, 400 million are overdue on their debts. And then this I thought was related, so I threw it in here. But it says China's top mall closed. Even 96% of discounts failed to lease. So they put these stores probably on like 90% discounts to lease them out, and they couldn't even do that because no one's wanting to buy these things right now or to start businesses because they don't have the money. So I just thought that was another economic thing that we're seeing. And then this says no one can stop communication with Taiwan. I already showed that, but this I thought, guys, this slide that's talking with this lady, it says business owner says customer behavior is changing, and then it says and it's led to 2 stores closing of hers. And it's like, guys, that is talked about in the Bible. The hearts of many growing cold, people changing as we're in these end times. And that is exactly what she's saying, that the behavior is changing with people and it's forced her to close 2 of her stores. So I think a lot of it too is she's probably talking about thieving and stuff like that. But it's just, guys, we're seeing that. I mean, I'm sure all of you have seen in your own lives people behavior, like the behavior of people is changing. And so we're seeing that. This was a big one too. Japanese PM Shiba approves record US 732 billion defense budget, and it says amid the threats of the other countries, but this is like one of their biggest budgets they've spent on defense. So they're building up their defenses, and this is what I'm saying, guys, is we can see all these countries are preparing for war. They're getting all these allies. There's people picking sides, and that's exactly what happened before the other 2 wars. So this stuff is just constantly going on right now with what we're seeing. And this says everyone who can exit the UK is leaving. I just want you guys to know I don't watch these channels when I'm showing these slides. I'm just getting these for the basically the title because I want you to see the thinking that is in place of everyone on earth. And it's like a lot of people are saying these things in different countries right now, and they all have the same thinking that we do. They just don't believe in the Bible, unfortunately. But I'm going to look at some of your guys' comments real fast in chat. Okay, let me keep going. This says Loudoun County preparing for hundreds of people losing their jobs in February. I mean, I just showed this because I show a lot of layoffs going on. There's a lot of this stuff keeps increasing. We know the economies are getting worse. We know the currencies are getting worse. And I do believe that's because crypto is going to come in and they're going to change stuff, which is what God was showing me a few years ago. And this is another one of those bird flu things. It says U.S. egg production drops as prices continue to rise, along with bird flu cases. I mean, guys, there's just so much of this news out right now where they're showing these diseases. I mean, they're really trying to hammer us in with these diseases and let us know that something's coming. And so I just keep watching this news and trying to show you guys. This was a major thing that happened. 2024 ends with lightning strikes Washington Monument, the Capitol, and the Empire State Building in the same night. So in the same night, 3 or 4 of these buildings had lightning strikes hit them all at the same time, I think. And so that to me is a big warning from God about, I mean, I don't know what it's about, but it's definitely a warning when all of that's happening at the same time. And so, again, it was just another thing that I wanted to show you guys because I don't know if a lot of people saw that or not. But also says Iran issues warning about U.S. bases in Syria. So we know what's going on with Syria right now. Basically, within a day, and changed the governments. And there's another major thing in here that you're going to see soon with Syria that I wanted to show you guys. It's going to be on January 13th, but there's going to be this big thing on January 13th I want you guys to see because it's going to be something that probably could lead to some of the stuff that we talk about. This says Russia rejects Trump's Ukraine peace proposals. So I believe this is going to keep happening, guys, just like we've seen with Israel, that the peace plans keep getting rejected and these things they're trying to do. And I do believe that's because they're not going to be agreed upon peace until the Antichrist comes. And so right now it's going to be a false peace, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like this stuff's just going to keep failing until I think we're out of here. Um, this says up to 5 house cats sick as bird flu found in second raw pet food brand. So again, they're trying to put this, you see how many of these in this presentation, guys, I've shown. There's so many of this bird flu talk right now, and so much of these like mainstream news and even minor news companies are talking about it. It's like, yeah, all this stuff is building up right now. Okay, I already showed this, but the Ukraine is halting gas to Europe. And then I just wanted to show this because, again, the title, it says massive economic storm coming to U.S. Prepare now. A lot of people on YouTube, guys, are under the same impression. They're saying the same things. I just want to show the thinking where everyone's getting to this point of thinking right now. They should be preparing with Jesus, not with supplies, but just wanted to show that. See, we're facing a genuine cost of living crisis, and then decade of deadly heat ends with a record year as world warned of road to ruin. So, decade of deadly heat, and it's a record year this year apparently. But all this stuff is just killing crops, plants, animals, habitats, all that stuff. So it's just this stuff's just building more and more with what we're seeing, and there's just an increase of these birth pains. Now this says I'm a blue state mayor and the future of homelessness scares me. I thought that was interesting because Fox reported that, but um, basically there's a ton of homelessness stuff going on right now. It's really sad. A lot of food banks don't have food where enough food to give out to people right now. There's a lot of stuff going on with like the shelters don't have enough room for the homeless population. Um, we can pray for these people. There's a lot of that stuff going on right now. This was the major thing I wanted you guys to see. It says next Iran nuclear talks on January 13th. It says Syrian leaders promise freedom of press. And I do still think this Syrian guy, something's gonna happen soon. I don't know what, but it's like it's weird that he's basically taken over this country. Turkey is talking to him and all of these people, and I just think something big could happen with this talk on January 13th. I mean, who knows? Something could happen before that, but it is interesting that there's an Iran nuclear talk on January 13th. So that's something to note. Again, guys, bird flu outbreak expands. More Michigan poultry facilities exposed to virus. And then this says doctor urges caution after surge in post-holiday illnesses. Says holiday colds on the rise. I mean, there's so much of these pestilences going around right now. It's like the main news right now. There's so much of that going around along with the war stuff. But this says Chinese cloud giants bought more of NVIDIA's flagship AI chips than anybody else except Microsoft. I think this is related to end times. There's a lot of these major facilities, guys, that are the technology is increasing with AI. They're building more of these chip factories. There's more of these chips being used in robots and all that different stuff. And so we're just seeing a big increase in this. And this says CDC rabbit fever increases by 56% in US. So I don't know if that's related to animals. I'm pretty sure that is, but it's just, there is crazy stuff going on constantly, guys, that the average person has no clue that's happening. And I think that's the last slide that I did right now, guys. But I went to help someone move today. I am really tired. I wanted to come on and do this live real quick and give you guys some encouragement with the things we're seeing because, I mean, guys, any day right now, things can change. I mean, people didn't think World War II was going to happen, and then Pearl Harbor happened. People didn't think World War I was going to happen, and that happened. It's like people will deny things up into the moment the change occurs. So, guys, don't get discouraged. I mean, we're seeing all of these things. It says in the Bible, when these things begin to happen, look up for your redemption draws near. I mean, we're seeing so much stuff on this earth that it is incredible to be alive right now to be able to see all of this. And so we just need to keep telling people to come to Jesus right now because, I mean, we don't know how much time we have left to tell them. And I mean, guys, I brought up earlier there was a certain Christian who was trying to call me out on their channel, and it wasn't just me. There was a bunch of other Christians that they were leaving, unsubscribing to these channels, and basically saying bad things about them. But I know you guys know who I am, and I'm 100% in for Jesus. I'm not a works-based Christian. I'm not a legalist, but I just want you guys to realize that because I think all of you here know that about me because you've been here a long time. But I'm 100% all in for Jesus. There is no donations, there's no monetization on my channel. If you go to my banner on my channel, you'll see where it says there's no condemnation to those that are in Christ Jesus. I mean, two of my biggest videos, like I showed at the beginning of this, are about me talking about those works-based teachings and how they're false. Those are two of my biggest videos on this channel. So I just want to say, guys, a lot of Christians right now are trying to cause division. It says in the Bible that's not what you're supposed to do. It says you're supposed to stand in unity. It says if someone's causing division, that you should get away from them. So, guys, I just want to say if you see Christians causing division right now, get out of those channels, get away from those people because, I mean, guys, that's not what the Lord wants us to do. He wants us to stand in unity as we see this stuff approaching, stand on what we know. And so I just want to say that I love you guys. I thank you guys for being here. I'm going to keep doing these lives probably at random times, but I'm going to try to maybe mix it up, like maybe one early in the day, one late in the day, and just keep doing them because I think it does help a lot of people because they're able to stay encouraged with these things. But yeah, keep praying for each other, guys. Keep looking up. I mean, To me, it's just so obvious something's going to happen soon with everything we're seeing. We just got to keep going, guys, until that day comes. And we're going to be out of here soon, guys. So thank you guys again for being here. And yeah. We're going to be out of here soon, guys. So thank you guys again for being here.